So
Passed by two broken down BMWs and Audis.
one BMW broken and one Audi broken. There you go. That's the lifestyle of the rich and famous. Autophiles in a Mazda CX-5 2.5 turbo. Yeah, man. What's the full name?
That's the full name. You got it right. So this is part of the updated 2019 CX-5 range.
Is it a facelift?
It's more of an update than a facelift. Changed the instrument cluster, they changed I think some material here and there, but by and large it's the same car.
Okay. Whatever changes there was, I did not notice it on a glance, except that badge red color badge.
That's bad.
What was that? T?
2.5 T. The T is red
T is red color. Now I know who paid more money on the road.
You see a red color?
From afar. Should have given a little bit more. Maybe like a diffuser at the back. Like maybe a side step. Just a side step. Something substantive. Other than a stupid T. What is your first impression on this CX-5?
My first impression, well, when they launched it, what they did was they said, okay, our launch is in our plant in Penang. You media pair up in your own bunches and you we'll give you one 2.5 turbo each. So my friend picked up the car in KL and he picked me up and he said, this car is f***ing fast. And then we started driving to Penang and every other journalist that we passed by, everyone was basically racing each other. It just became like
it's like they knew that was going to happen.
I mean, just like the Civic facelift, it's such a good design that you don't have to really change it. Yeah,
I mean, from a commercial point of view, when a car goes through a facelift and there's not much change, you know they were selling lah. They were selling well.
It's the most sleeper SUVs out there. The Forester is completely the opposite of this. Chrome everywhere, it's got body kit on top of body kit.
But it does not go fast.
But it doesn't go fast. This car looks like any other CX-5 except for one little T.
It is a bit of a sleeper, but it's not a sports car lah.
But I mean, that's the whole point of a sleeper. The sleepers are not supercars, they're not sports cars, they're just normal cars. If you try to pick on them, they can destroy you. That is the whole point of a sleeper.
My first impression for me, it's there was a lot of build-up because Mazda being a Zoom company, I was expecting it to go down the sporty line. So I kind of built that in my head, but I built it up myself because Mazda never called it a Mazda Speed, is it? So in a way, I built up that image of a really sporty SUV in my head, and you keep calling it a Macan killer. It was partially your fault. I just expect some of these fundamentals of a sports car done right. When I step in here, within the first 2 to 3 minutes, I realize it's not lah. I don't even need to go fast, and I realize it's only a Macan killer under very specific circumstances. Give it an air feel.
Be a Macan base model
and use the wrong fuel. Maybe under that circumstance you may be able to chase a Macan. Well, nonetheless, I quite like it. You're right, you can't find any offering from Japan that is remotely like this. So that's first impression. See, straight road, let's go into it.
You're flooring it?
Yeah, there's a mid-range torque quite good. Oh, not bad. Let's see the brakes.
The brakes are very spongy.
A little bit spongy.
You brake how much you want.
It's gonna do what it does.
I would describe the performance. I think you also feel it. When you actually start driving, it doesn't feel any more powerful than a 2.5 litre CX-5.
It doesn't feel special. At first. When you press the accelerator maybe halfway through, you actually get a lot of push. Right. A lot more than in any of the other CX-5s. A lot more than in typical Japanese car. Yes. I would say one rung higher than typical Japanese. It's in that territory that you are talking about 320i, C200. The funny thing, however, is that it's not violent at all. I think they purposely retarded it. They nerfed it.
I think the all-wheel drive helps.
Is it?
Can you imagine if this was front-wheel drive? The thing would be like torque steering.
I know, right? I know. It's a Macan chaser if you give it enough length lah.
It's not like a punchy, aggressive shifter.
It's not a sports SUV. I think that sums it up. It's powerful and fast. It's actually quite darn fast. It cruises at amazing speed, like 150 km
without you noticing.
Yeah, it cruises very comfortably at that speed, and I think that's amazing. But it's not a sports SUV, because what makes a sports car is not just fast. It's got to drive like one as well.
Like the X3.
So one by one, let's talk about figures. So it's a 1.7 ton car with 230 horses. So we're talking about the kind of power to weight ratio somewhere between a 320i BM and a 330 IBM.
Normally we see 2-litre turbos
Right.
in German cars.
Right.
Almost all the time.
But this is a
turbos.
strong heart. This is 2.5.
5 and then turbocharged.
Yes, and then turbocharged. So you have a lot of high-end power, mid to high-end power and torque as well.
And 420 Newton meters.
Oh, that's called tire changing every 6 months.
This gearbox, the 6-speed Sky Active drive.
Because it changes pretty fast. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fast.
Yeah.
It's always been a fast gearbox.
Yeah.
The issue I believe is that I think 420 Newton meters is near the edge of its capability.
What it can do. So
I
your
think
wear and tear will be quite high.
And it's a multi-plate lockup clutch.
Right.
So it's a bit like the ZF one, where it starts off with
It's a baby ZF lah.
it's like a baby Japanese ZF, where it starts off with a torque converter.
Right.
And then once it's confident, it'll lock up with the clutches.
Right.
So that gives it the direct feel and the fast shifting.
Yeah.
So I think it locks up a little bit slower in most modes. When you put it in sports mode, then it locks up
It's a bit faster, and it pulls a bit longer. The tuning was done right, but I think they missed the mark on the tactile feel altogether. Yeah,
it doesn't have
it's completely not connected to, you know, what you're pushing here is not connected to what's going on. Maybe I say this because I expected a bit more from a performance capable SUV. You want to get a taste of ZF, but you don't want to pay that kind of money. This comes closest. So this is like that good middle ground.
Exactly. You want the power, it's there.
It's there. It can deliver, as long as you're not too demanding about the refinement aspect and the tuning aspect of it. But again, we have to be a bit more objective here. There are letdown. The tuning of the vehicle is not a mistake, but it's just the tuning of the vehicle is still very comfort oriented. Yeah, the car is very comfortable, which is a bad thing when it comes to performance because it wallows around quite a bit.
A little bit more than the Forester.
A little bit more than the Forester when it comes to confidence level. It's not there, even though it's all-wheel drive. I don't feel the same level of confidence I feel in the Forester. And also, it wallows around a lot more than the Germans.
The
Germans will be more planted. This is definitely more comfort tuned. You can't deny that. Good thing is comfortable. Bad thing is 155. Your undulation on the road will become quite scary. Overall,
has to be 4.5.
Oh, you're giving a 4.5 because you're a Mazda boy.
In this segment, you know, non-premium mass market SUV,
you don't get this kind of power. Not even near.
Nobody else.
Nobody else. Yeah. But I'm going to be a bit more critical. My complaint mainly comes in tuning. And I see this not only in this vehicle, it's also in the 2-litre. That the engine roughens up at a certain RPM, right?
Yeah.
And you really need to sort that out. That refinement thing with that 4,000 RPM roughening up, it's a dampener on that zoom Jimba Itai feel you want to create, because it discourages you from fully immersing yourself in that enjoyment. I personally think so. Sort that out. That is one big complaint I have. Second complaint is of course the tactile feel. Now I didn't complain in a normal one because, you know, it's but in a slightly more performance oriented Mazda, I expect you to do a bit better when it comes to that connection between the gear lever and the what's actually going on in the gearbox. I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
4.
Yeah. It's good.
Low are you?
I want low, no lah.
You give the CX-5 2-litre a 4, you give this a 4.
CX-5 2-litre?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have given it lower.
It didn't do anything.
No changes.
But I think the rims are a little bit different.
Okay.
You get 19-inch dual tone in this design. As if anyone's going to stop and pay attention. Hey, what CX-5
Wow,
is this?
so cool. So cool. No lah, it's like that.
But yeah, I think at least they give it 19-inch. Another way to distinguish it that it's a high-spec model is the LED headlights, which you have to wait until nighttime to.
The branding is so huge. I mean, it is so big. It's my entire palm. Oh my goodness.
Then you get your active safety here. But it's not to the level, surprisingly, it's not to the level of Toyota and Honda. Okay. It doesn't have your active cruise control.
Oh.
So it has active braking. So if there's a emergency, it will brake for you.
Yeah.
But you cannot put your cruise control and expect it to stop in time and all that. So it's like a halfway thing, which I think makes sense because active cruise control, how often do you use it? So still the same. It doesn't have the thing where you touch the door handle and it unlocks. So you still have to press the button.
Right.
Yeah. It's a bit unfortunate because Honda City has that. But I mean,
they didn't even bother to change the bumper.
If they did, that's why I don't notice. Oh, this thing lah. I got a complaint about this. This just looks.
Yo.
Somebody dipped it. A little bit unfortunate, but At least it's not so bad. It could have been like a big chrome strip or something that was very tacky. This is very minor. I think this is a unique tonneau cover. I haven't seen this anywhere else.
Yeah, I haven't seen any car that does this.
Yeah, but it's pretty nice. I mean, the clips
they mount on top.
It's very intuitive. You just push it forward and it comes off.
Okay.
And then you want to mount it back, you just tip it that. Pretty good. Because other tonneau covers, what usually happens is it ends like this.
Yeah.
And then when you're going to take it out, like, you know, you have to like take it out and put it back like that. At least this one, it comes out of the way.
Yeah.
So you can just leave it on.
Some thoughts went into it, not bad. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh no! I didn't shoot it. Wait. Oh! Oh, I have to be loud.
I think because my
Mechanical.
chair is,
Oh,
my chair
okay.
is blocking. So
Okay.
yeah, basically they all fall flat. But
It's mechanical as well,
It's
which is good, it will never break.
yeah. But I think I like the action in the Forester and the CRV better.
Oh.
Because the Forester one, you press it, the pop, falls flat.
Yeah, that's that robustness in the Subaru.
This time when I was shooting the car before you arrived, the front chairs were in front.
Yeah.
And I did this, it also didn't really fall.
Okay.
Like it slipped
Mazda
into the
it's a little bit softer.
Yeah. It's nice that they actually, you see all these leather bands.
Right.
It's on here, it's on here.
Right.
Some thought went into these.
Right.
I know you're not impressed, love.
Lift up the
Oh yes, the spare tire, space saver.
purple one.
Space saver, 17 inch.
Oh, okay.
Power boot, so you can just press that. It'll take
A
its
bit
time.
slow.
A bit slow. Oh no, maybe you have to turbocharge your power boots. Shit in the back here.
Okay.
The first thing I noticed is why orange stitching.
Eh, kenapa ni? Apa masalah
See,
ni?
you see orange here, and you go up here, it's grey.
Grey.
This, it's not red lah. It could have been red and it could have been really bad. This is like, it's like the T in the back lah. The red color T is like.
They run out of this color stitch, so they use it. Okay, but legroom wise, it's not the greatest in the class lah. CRV is so much better.
Yeah.
You can see the door is also smaller.
CRV is bigger. RAV4 is bigger.
Even the Subaru Forester is bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thigh support is not great because
It's not there. The seats are a bit low.
Yeah.
But for me, I think it will be okay. But for you, I think it's an inch lower than it should be.
Yeah, my headroom is okay.
Okay.
Headroom is
That's it.
actually very good. I can put a whole fist.
The whole fist. Why are you counting things by fist? what kind of sick obsession is this?
I wouldn't mind being at the back here, but it's not great.
Yeah, it's not great.
Nice. You see, this is how you do armrest.
Oh, come on. Having a baby sit on that thing. I think
Look at this. This is purposeful. Stop here. Look at this. I think this is pretty thoughtful.
Yeah, for mobile. Yeah.
Put it here and then you watch your Netflix. You see, it's padded here so you can rest your head. And then you watch your Netflix.
That's a perfect way to lose your eyesight.
Can you charge your phone here? Yeah, you can. You see?
Wow, not bad.
There's a way you can route your cable.
Right.
Plug in the USB here.
Okay.
Comes out here and then your phone is sitting here. Charge.
They have to lah, because you know this leg room is really not great lah.
Yeah, they got to compensate.
Compensate.
This is a very purposeful armrest.
No, it's just a
telling you,
normal
this is-
armrest
this
that
is
does
how
not
you
rest on the
look
seat.
at that.
That's all there is.
Cable freaking management, man.
You are such a Mazda fanboy.
Zoom. Aircon vents at the back.
Okay.
You get a lighted up scuff plate.
And it just highlights how small that metal piece is.
Yeah.
Dashboard is exactly the same. I think the only thing they changed is
This. Look at that.
CX-5.
I like this one. It's like a nice blend of digital and and analog.
They got their steering wheel right lah. Mazda.
I prefer the Honda, the chunkier one.
Yeah, but the Honda Center, it just reminds you how cheap it is. Yeah.
This one is okay.
Yeah. Value. Guess the price.
Yes.
175.
Wow. Actually, it's a bit more. When it was launched, it was 178. I think.
Oh, okay.
And now it's something like 181.
Oh.
But then now got SSD reduction.
So it should be about what,
So-
75?
Yeah. You were right, 175.
175?
After
Without
SSD. Yeah.
Yeah, 175. That's what it should be lah. 2.5 turbo. I think it's okay.
I think it could have been more expensive.
Yeah.
I think if they had priced it at 190, I think people still would have bought it.
No, if it's 190, I expect a sports SUV.
Huh.
Yeah, because then, you know, you're really getting into BMW 3 Series territory.
I don't think it's a bad price.
Of course it's not. It's a great price.
Yeah.
So value itself, it's
5 star.
I say 4 lah.
You say 4?
I would say 4. It's a 4-star because it's great value, you know. It's just that it's so much potential here. You know what Mazda needs to do here? Very simple. Suspension, swap it up. Give me something a little bit harsher, but much more sportier. So that I can do like a turn at, say, 80 without, you know, without rolling around. Number 2, you're gonna have slightly wider wheels to increase stability at high speed. Slightly wider wheels. Number 3, lower the ride height a little bit because we're talking about performance SUV here, right? Lower it a little bit, give it a bit of a difference in terms of body kit, a more jarring face without any chrome. You know, just blacken out all the chrome, give it a more aggressive face, and make the tuning of the sports mode a little bit more aggressive. Like, pump! Whoa! I want to get kicked back into my seat. If you can do that and sort out the 4,000 RPM roughness, 190, man. 190.
You know what I think happened? They went into the playing field. They realized
Nobody is
doing anything.
So why bother?
Why bother?
Yeah,
I just do this.
It's the CX-8 all over again. Yeah. You know, it's like the low-hanging fruit.
But if you're a Mazda, wouldn't you pick the low-hanging fruit?
I would pick the low-hanging fruit, then I will always have a halo.
I think the halo will come when they need it. They're not desperate yet.
I know.
They're at the point where you see this car also, everybody wants this car.
I know.
It's such a hot
But
product.
imagine if they have a halo. It would fly. It would elevate all the other little brothers.
I think there's time. There's time. Mazda still has so much. Like it's only 2020.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what? Like as if it's not yet 2024.
It's not even 2025 yet, you know?
So for 175,000, I think it's great value. 4 out of 5.
Me 4.5.
Yeah, Mazda fanboy now. That's why. Autophiles signing out. Let's check out how many fists.
Oh, yeah. Time to burn my hands.
3/4 of a fist.
Look at that, Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, it's real.
This is
Actual.
Das exhaust pipe.
The only thing Koreans still lacking is heritage.
Yeah.
Really, that's the only thing the Koreans are lacking.
Maybe a bit better materials. And you get a little PVC.
I read a jalopnik.
Oh, the Napa leather smelly.
You run out of things to talk about.
Hey, but it's a genuine complaint. They're actually going to investigate it.
They investigated it. They found out it's the Napa leather. But they can't do anything about it.